5.5 rebounds per game. She leads the Longhorns with 59 three-pointers made this season. At forward is 6'1" sophomore from Katy, Texas, Justice Carlton. Carlton averaging 8 points and 4 rebounds per game. Then at forward, a 6'4" junior from Chula Vista, California, transfer from Arizona, Brea Cunningham. Cunningham averaging 8 points, 5.5 rebounds per game. Then at forward, a 6'1" junior from Ridgeland, Mississippi, Madison Booker. Booker leading Texas by averaging 18.7 points per game. She also has 6.2 rebounds per contest. The SEC preseason player of the year. She was the player of the year last year in the SEC. Texas is led by head coach Vic Schaefer. After a long tenure at Mississippi State, he's now in his 6th season as the head coach on the 40 acres. He is assisted by Elena Lovato, Lindsay Wisdom Hilton, Blair Schaefer, Sydney Carter, and Mason Wright. Their athletic trainer is Cheyenne Green. Sports information, Jeremy Rosenthal. Radio broadcasters, Craig Way and Roger Wallace. Before we take a look at the starting 5 for head coach Christy Curry and the Crimson Tide, let's first pause 10 seconds for station identification. That's 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. For the Alabama Crimson Tide, ranked 24th in the country. Alabama 21-8, 7-8 in the SEC. Crimson Tide have been 16-3 at home this season. Alabama lost last time out against Vanderbilt in Nashville. Starting for head coach Christy Curry at guard, a 6' senior from Clarksville, Tennessee, Tamia Scott. Scott averaging 9 points, 3 rebounds per game. Also for the Tide at guard, a 5'9" junior from Lilburn, Georgia, Diana Collins. Collins averaging 8 points, 3 rebounds per game. At forward, a 6'4" junior from Valdosta, Georgia, Essence Cody. Cody averaging 11 points, 4.5 rebounds per game. At guard, a 5'11" senior from Loretto, Tennessee, Carly Weathers. Weathers averaging 9 points, leading Alabama by averaging 6.1 rebounds per game. She also leads the Crimson Tide in minutes played, assists, steals, really has done it all this season. Carly Weathers. Then at guard, a 5'8" redshirt senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, Jessica Timmons. Timmons, Alabama's top scorer. She has led the Crimson Tide in scoring the last 2 games, 16 points against Vanderbilt. Last Sunday had a career-high 34 points in the win at Florida. Timmons averaging 16 points, 4 rebounds per game. That's the starting 5 for Alabama. Scott, Collins, Cody, Weathers, and Timmons. Alabama led by head coach Christy Curry in her 13th season at the Capstone. She is assisted by Brooks Donald-Williams, Kelly Curry, Tennille Adams, Sydney Ann Cottrell, Chelsea Dungy Artberry. Director of Operations is Brian Johnson. The athletic trainer is Alicia Grisby. Strength and conditioning coach Kevin Markle. Sports information, Anna Nobles. Our officials for today, Tiffany Bird along with Gina Cross and Demoya Pugh, all wearing gray shirts with white pinstripes, black shoulders on the shirts, black pants, and black shoes. Meanwhile, the Alabama Crimson Tide in the home white jerseys for today. White jerseys and shorts with Alabama across the front in crimson numerals on the front and back of the jerseys. Texas, meanwhile, in the burnt orange jerseys. White numerals on the front and back. Texas written across the front in white, trimmed in black. For the Texas Longhorns making their first ever trip to Tuscaloosa in women's basketball. This is only the 5th meeting all time between the schools in women's basketball. Texas has won all 4 matchups previously, and really only recently has this series even resumed. After the series was active in the 80s, it was picked up again in the second round of the NCAA tournament in 2024, a matchup won by Texas, and then the Longhorns had a blowout win against Alabama last January in 2025. 84-40 was the final score in Austin. But it's a new year. It's a new opportunity for the Alabama Crimson Tide today against the Texas Longhorns. Essence Cody will step in center circle for the Tide, standing at 6'4", going up against Texas, and Brea Cunningham also at 6'4". 2 players not available for today's game for Alabama. Ace Austin will miss her 2nd straight game as she continues to deal with concussion-like symptoms from contact earlier in the week. So no Ace Austin for the Crimson Tide, but also dealing with a leg injury is somebody that was injured against Vanderbilt, Naomi Jones. So Alabama's depth is more limited, especially at the forward position without Naomi Jones to complement Essence Cody. And then Ace Austin not being available as well after she had really become the 6th player off the bench for the Crimson Tide all throughout the season. So as the officials and managers start to dry off the floor right over Script A and Crimson on the state outline and mid-floor. We're almost ready to go for this matchup. But again, it's worth keeping in mind, Naomi Jones, Ace Austin, two key players off the bench for Alabama, not available for this matchup. The court is dry. We are ready for women's basketball between Alabama and Texas. Final time this season that the Crimson Tide will play at home in Tuscaloosa. The ball is tipped, and away we go. The opening tap controlled by the Texas Longhorns, who'll open this game playing on the right goal. Alabama will start on the left goal as we just get going in the first of 4 10-minute quarters in women's basketball. Crump at the top of the key. Handoff top of the key to Booker. A couple steps by her to the right, just inside the arc of the right wing. Passes as she falls to the floor to the left wing. A three-pointer is up, in and out, no good by Lee. And the rebound in transition, controlled by the Crimson Tide. First possession for Alabama. Timmons, a bounce pass to Weathers on the right side. Floats it to the right block to Cody, but that's intercepted. Tipped by Cunningham to the Longhorns in transition. Driving Lee, right side layup, good. Texas starts this game with a 2-0 lead against the Crimson Tide. 9:25 to go in the first quarter. Bounce pass into Jessica Timmons, dealing with backcourt pressure from Rory Harmon, who leads Texas with 86 steals on the season. She swats at the basketball as Timmons takes the ball over the timeline right. Timmons still dealing with Harmon in between the rings, trying to get Alabama's offense moving with 15 on the shot clock. Now it's Timmons trying to hand off to Weathers, and the ball is tied up thanks to the defense of Justice Carlton. Possession arrow favors Alabama with 10 on the shot clock. 9:02 to go in the opening quarter. 2-0 Texas leads. Sideline out of bounds play for Carly Weathers from the right sideline. Slaps the basketball, looks, waits, looks low, looks high, goes to Collins right at mid-floor. 9 on the shot clock. Jessica Timmons from the left side of the circle to the left baseline. On the left wing, Collins, head fake, spins around. 3 seconds, left corner. Here's Timmons with the 3, well short, defended well by Texas's Booker, and the basketball belongs to the Longhorns. Harmon driving. Right side layup no good, and the rebound underneath the basket by Carly Weathers of Alabama. Crimson Tide in transition trailing 2-0. Diana Collins to Weathers, top of the key, loads up a three-pointer. Off the back iron, no good, and the rebound in the Crimson paint by Lee. Basketball with Texas up 2-0. Harmon swings it out to Booker on the left wing, steps inside the arc, lost control of the ball along the baseline, puts it out of bounds, and a turnover on Texas. Madison Booker could not handle that last pass, and the turnover will give the ball back to Alabama. Both teams committing a turnover in the early going. Still 8:25 to go in the first quarter. 2-0 Texas leads. Full court pressure from the Longhorns. Baseball pass over the timeline. One bounce to Timmons. Timmons drives right side layup. Got it. Excellent assist by Carly Weathers. And Timmons, once she had the basketball, was able to put it up and in for Alabama's first basket of the game. Now the basketball with the Longhorns. 2-2 score. 8:10 to go in the first quarter. Top of the key, just inside the arc, Cunningham. Step to the right, hand off to Booker. Hands at her face by Tamia Scott. Now to Carlton. Carlton tries to go to Cunningham, saves the ball in play on the baseline. Now puts up a three-pointer, and that is good from the right corner by Lee. 5-2, Texas with the advantage. Crimson Tide with the basketball. 7:50 to go in the first quarter. More full court pressure. Inbounds pass from Weathers to Timmons. Timmons over the timeline right. Timmons kicks it to the left side to Scott. Scott from the corner to the left elbow. Pressured by Lee, trying to spin away from that pressure, passes to the left to Weathers. Weathers, bounce pass to Cody in the paint, floater up, rims out, no good. Cody the rebound left side. Her shot goes up over the backboard, but she's fouled on the play. Fouled in the act of shooting, so 2 shots coming up for Essence Cody. The contact from Brea Cunningham. First foul on her, first foul on the Longhorns. 7:31 left to go in the first quarter. 5-2, Texas leading Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That'll send Essence Cody to the free throw line, a 72% free throw shooter. One dribble, first free throw is up and good. 5-3, Texas leads Alabama. One more at the line for Cody. Puts it up and in. 5-4, Texas with the ball, a 1-point lead, 7.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Rory Harmon running the offense, pounding the right-hand dribble over the timeline as she veers to the right wing and hands off to Lee. Lee, a few steps to the left now, bounce pass free throw line Booker. Booker backs up to the right wing, guarded by Timmons. to Lee at the top of the key. Lee dashes down the right side of the lane, spins in the paint, throws up a jumper, well short. Fight for the rebound. It's picked up by Texas, and a right side layup good by Cunningham. 7-4 in favor of the Longhorns. Basketball back with the Crimson Tide. Diana Collins, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Alabama ball trailing by 3. Diana Collins passing top of the key to Scott. Scott staying on the perimeter to the left wing. Scott dancing around the top of the key, now left side of the lane. Passes just right of center to Collins. Head fake by Hurd, 10 on the shot clock. On the left wing to Scott. Scott, free throw line, SEC logo. Bounce pass on the right wing, Carly Weathers. 5 on the shot clock. Weathers has her shot partially deflected, taken away as Carlton had the deflection on a shot and taken away by Booker. She finds Harmon right baseline. Harmon into the paint. SEC logo puts it up. No good on the shot. Rebound, Essence Cody. Defensive board for the Crimson Tide. Alabama trailing 7-4. Collins driving right side layup. Blocked out of bounds by Booker. And the basketball will still be with Alabama. Crimson Tide to the bench as Wyatta Jennings will check in. 5'9" senior from New Zealand. Transferred to Alabama from Baylor. One of 4 seniors recognized on Senior Day for the Crimson Tide. Carly Weathers will inbound the basketball. From the right baseline. Into Jennings quickly on the baseline. Backs up to the right wing. Then nearly lost control of the basketball. Retrieves it just before the timeline. 15 in the shot clock as she gets moving to the free throw line. Into the paint. Spins around, floats up a shot that kicks out no good. And the rebound, Carlton, and then she is immediately fouled in the act of rebounding. Carlton had the contact from Jennings. First foul on Jennings, first team foul on the Crimson Tide. 6:06 to go in the first quarter. Texas 7, Alabama 4. And bounce pass from Carlton to Harmon. Harmon picked up on defense in the backcourt by Jennings. Harmon over the middle of the timeline, around the screen by Booker to the left wing. Harmon at the top of the key. Passing to Booker, inside the arc, right side jumper is good. The mid-range jumper got it to go. Madison Booker makes it 9-4 in favor of Texas. Booker with her first basket of the game. Texas's top scorer, averaging 18 points per contest. 5:40 to go in the first quarter. Alabama ball trailing 9-4. Bounce pass to Scott at the right elbow. Scott backs up at the top of the key. She scans the scene, waits, 10 on the shot clock for Scott, passes just to the right to Timmons. Timmons stepping inside the arc. Tenacious defense on her by Harmon. Ball poked loose by Booker for a moment. 3 seconds on the shot clock. It's Timmons and an off to foul. Legal screen set by the Crimson Tide. Joy Egbunu just checked in the game a moment ago, picking up the contact and the foul, trying to help out Jessica Timmons right at the free throw line, colliding with Harmon. 5:15 to go in the first quarter. Texas ball up 9-4 against Alabama. Here is Harmon over the timeline left, guarded closely by Jennings. Harmon scooting to the top of the key. Passing just there to Carlton, then to Cunningham. Beats Egbuna to the left block and a left side layup good. 11-4 in favor of Texas. Crimson Tide with the basketball in the midst of a scoring drought over 2.5 minutes. Inbounds pass to Wyatta Jennings. It's been a 6-0 run for the Longhorns after Alabama made it a 5-4 score. Jennings just left of center at the top of the key. Now Jennings started drive in against Harmon. Passes to Egbuna at the free throw line. She moves down the right side lane, spins, throws up a shot against Cunningham, and it rattles in. Joy Egbuna breaks the scoring drought and makes it 11-6. Basketball back to Texas. 4:24 remaining in the first quarter. Longhorns 11, Crimson Tide 6. Harmon, bounce pass to Cunningham, top of the key. On the right wing, Lee. Lee to Carlton, triple teamed on the right block. Dishes it back out to Lee on the right wing. Takes it to the right elbow, pull-up jumper, swirls in and out, no good. Rebound deflected to Carly Weathers. Good work, Egbuna. Fast break chance to Scott. Scott into the paint, spinning, floating it up, using the square. That's no good off the backboard, and the rebound by Texas. Cunningham with the board. Texas pushing tempo. Lee on the right wing. Lee dribbles to the top of the key, hands off to Harmon left wing. Harmon to the free throw line. Right side to Carlton. Carlton collides with Jennings, and a foul is going to be called. That'll be the second on Wyatta Jennings for the Crimson Tide, and that will take us to a timeout on the floor. Texas with an 11-6 lead against Alabama with 3:48 still to go in the first quarter from Tuscaloosa. We'll be back with more in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Texas 11, Alabama 6. We still have 3:48 to go in the first quarter from here in Tuscaloosa. I want to remind you to join us each Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Central, Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, all across Crimson Tide Sports Network's social media platforms at UA_CTSN. A lot of talk this week about Alabama men's and women's basketball coming up on the show as we get into the month of March. So far, Texas with an 11-6 lead against Alabama. Longhorns 5 of 10 shooting from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, and Texas and Alabama both with 6 rebounds to begin this game. Alabama 2 of 9 shooting the basketball from the floor. Alabama has misfired on its 2 shots from 3, and Alabama 2 of 2 at the free throw line. So far, Alabama 1 assist compared to 2 turnovers. Turnovers really hurt the Crimson Tide in the matchup against Vanderbilt on Thursday. But Alabama right now doing a relatively good job taking care of the basketball. It's just some of the missed shots, and Texas able to capitalize, hurting the Crimson Tide so far in this game. Also in the paint, Texas with 6 of its 11 points to start this game. Mentioned it's senior day for the senior class of Wyatta Jennings, Tamia Scott, Jessica Timmons, and Carly Weathers, all recognized pregame. Wyatta, the only player coming off the bench for the Crimson Tide, but we've already seen her in this ball game. Her family has made the trip from New Zealand here to Tuscaloosa. Right, to have that recognition for them, along with the 2 grad assistants on Christy Curry's staff, Julia Bonasso and Parker Lovett, as well as the 2 managers, Ashton Maxwell and James Petulnik. Inbounds pass for Texas. Harmon to bounce pass to Booker on the left elbow extended, guarded by Carly Weathers at the free throw line. Spinning her way in, kicks it out to the right corner, Harmon. Harmon to the SEC logo. Her jumper is off balance, no good, and the rebound tipped in transition, Jessica Timmons. Lee guarding her. Timmons dashing down the right side of the lane, lost control of the ball, and there was contact from Lee and a foul against Texas. Only the second we've seen called on the Longhorns in the first quarter. Jordan Lee called for her first foul. Quick work by Timmons, moving quickly down the floor, averaging 16 points per game for Alabama. Is right at that average of 16 points last time out on Thursday in Nashville, Alabama's top scorer in the game. Timmons will go to the line for 2. She is an 85% free throw shooter. 11-6 Texas leads, 3:33 to go in the first quarter. Timmons makes the first. 11-7, one more for Jess. Two dribbles, then releases and connects. 11-8, one possession game, 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Longhorns with the basketball. Harmon over the timeline right, guarded by Collins. Bounce pass to Lee. Lee in between the rings to Booker. She's guarded by Scott. On the screen by Cunningham to the right elbow. Booker at the free throw line, backs up now on the right wing to Harmon. Harmon at the top of the key. 10 on the shot clock to Lee. Lee on the right wing. A handoff to Booker. Booker tried to pass, but that's stolen away by Carly Weathers. Fast break chance, Alabama. Weathers driving left side, finds Timmons on the left wing. Head fake by her. Top of the key. Here's Scott with a 3. Off the iron, no good. And the rebound in the paint by Booker. Basketball back to Texas after a turnover forced on the great steal by Carly Weathers. Now it's Harmon at the top of the key, guarded by Weathers. Harmon down the right side of the lane. Bounce pass on the right wing, Lee. Lee, top of the key to Booker. Bounce pass on the right wing to Harmon. Harmon, the free throw line. Bounce pass to Carlton. Carlton, free throw line. Right side of the lane. Pushes off against Timmons. Shot is good, but she pushed off, and the foul is called. Justice Carlton picking up her first. 3rd team foul on Texas. Basketball to the Crimson Tide as Texas will go to the bench. Brianna Preston will check in, replacing Rory Harmon for head coach Vic Schaefer. Carly Weathers will inbound the basketball. Brings it into Diana Collins. Crimson Tide ball trailing 11-8 against Texas. Alabama hasn't led so far in this game. Bounce pass to Weathers. Pressure from Carlton. Ball stays alive with Timmons. Timmons on the right side, back to Weathers. Weathers to the right corner. Timmons loads up a 3 and connects. Jessica Timmons ties this game at 11 with 2:12 to go in the first quarter. Carly Weathers helping keep the possession alive, and Timmons makes the Longhorns pay with a made 3-pointer. 11-11 the score, 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Carlton, right block, jumper on the way, kicks in. 13-11 in favor of the Longhorns. Justice Carlton scoring, full court pressure after the make for Texas. Weathers ready to inbound the basketball. Bounce pass along the baseline to Collins. Collins over the timeline, Guarded by Booker, now attacks the paint. Left side layup blocked out of bounds by Carlton. Still Crimson Tide ball as the ball went out of play along the baseline. Minute 44 to go in the first quarter. Texas 13, Alabama 11. Longhorns to the bench, and they will bring out 6'6" senior Kyla Oldacre, native of Mason, Ohio, transferred from Miami, Florida, to the University of Texas. Inbounds pass. Quickly in the right corner to Jessica Timmons. Timmons to the right wing, step back three, well short, and the rebound deflected out of bounds. It'll stay Crimson Tide basketball. Oldacre right there for Texas, getting involved immediately along with Booker going for the loose basketball. Texas 13, Alabama 11, a minute 37 to go in the first quarter. Diana Collins will inbound the basketball. Slapping the orange basketball, looking, waiting. Now floats it in top of the key to Jessica Timmons. Timmons guarded by Lee. Few dribbles to the right, backs up in between the rings. Timmons scanning the scene, passing to Cody, guarded by Oldacre on the right elbow. Cody gets tangled up with her. Oldacre falls to the floor. Cody lost the basketball. Lee had good pressure, and the Longhorns get the steal. Pass to Carlton is deflected off of her hand and taken away by Diana Collins in transition. Here comes Alabama down by 2. Weathers, right wing three. Off the iron, no good, and the rebound by Booker in the crimson paint. Basketball to Texas, up 2. Preston top of the key, running the offense with Harmon on the bench. Preston, handoff on the left wing to Carlton. Free throw line. Right side of the lane, puts up a jumper, well short, and the rebound deflected to Carly Weathers left side. Basketball to Alabama, down by 2, 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. Weathers at the free throw line. Against Preston, feels some pressure at the top of the key. Bounce pass to Timmons, who is cutting to the basket, but that goes just past her grasp and out of bounds along the baseline. Turnover on the Crimson Tide. Tell what Alabama's trying to do on that pass. Timmons, she corrals that pass from Weathers, would have had a great look at a left side layup to try and tie the game. Alabama will sub in freshman Tiana Chambers for the Crimson Tide, replacing Jessica Timmons. Chambers has been playing more and more over the last few weeks for the Crimson Tide, the 6'1" freshman from Aurora, Colorado. Inbounds pass into Preston. Texas basketball with 35 seconds to go. 8-second difference in between the game clock and the shot clock. And a hand check foul called on the perimeter against Diana Collins, guarding too closely against Preston. Diana picking up her first foul. Fourth team foul on Alabama. 30.7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Texas basketball up 13-11. Sideline out of bounds from the left sideline. Inbounds to Preston. Preston guarded by Collins. In the right corner, here comes a three-pointer up by Crump. It's well short, and the rebound taken away by the Crimson Tide. Scott over the timeline left. Shot clock turned off. Alabama with 15 seconds to work with at the end of the first quarter. Scott in between the rings. Lets everything set up. Now at 10 seconds, we'll start to get moving. Floats it to Cody at the top of the key. Back to the basket. Cody, a handoff to Chambers. 4 seconds left. Chambers driving, lost control of the basketball out of bounds, deflected by Texas. Alabama will have 1.8 seconds to work with. Jessica Timmons will quickly hop off the bench and head back on the floor for the Crimson Tide, replacing Tamia Scott. Or no, it will be Chambers. Scott and Timmons, two of Alabama's best shooters, now on the floor, along with Carly Weathers. Collins, right baseline to inbound the basketball. Alabama down 2. 1.8 seconds to go. Inbounds to Cody. SEC logo spins, throws up a shot. Couldn't get it past Oldacre along with Texas's Taya Sidbury, and that's how the first quarter comes to a close. Crimson Tide hanging tough with the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns. Our score at the end of the first 10 minutes. Texas 13, Alabama 11. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter next from Tuscaloosa. This is Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama 11 as we get ready to start the second quarter in Tuscaloosa. Thank you to State Farm for sponsoring today's game and for their continued support of Alabama women's basketball. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Crimson Tide at home against Texas on this Senior Day Sunday. Mentioned the seniors that were honored earlier: Wyatta Jennings, Tamia Scott, Jessica Timmons, and Carly Weathers. The pregame ceremony certainly was great to see as Christy Curry, Director of Athletics Greg Burns, saluted all the seniors and their families here in the building today for what will be a final time for Alabama women's basketball at home this season. What a home court advantage Coleman Coliseum has been. Alabama going 16-3 in the home games played this season. All three of the losses were in SEC play. Had a perfect non-conference record in this building, building up Alabama's resume to where the Crimson Tide, if things ended on Thursday night for the SEC tournament, Alabama would be the number 9 seed for the SEC tournament. But as we know, things did not end Thursday. We had to play today, and we will see how Alabama's record shakes out. If the Crimson Tide get a win, very good likelihood Alabama could be the number 8 seed for the SEC tournament. Based on some other results, Kentucky is taking on South Carolina. Tennessee, currently the 8th seed, is at Vanderbilt. So those are some tough matchups for Kentucky and for the Lady Vols. Alabama would have a tiebreaker head-to-head against Kentucky and also another team around them at the 10 seed at the moment. Georgia would not have the tiebreaker against Tennessee, but we'll dive in that later on. We start the second quarter with Texas with the basketball. Longhorns would lead the top of the key, flips the basketball to Sidbury. Sidbury to Preston. Preston at the top of the key against Chambers, spinning around, throws up a shot, deflected, no good, and the rebound saved in play by Scott right to Cody. Here comes Alabama. Timmons over the timeline. Timmons attacks the paint, driving, right side layup, no good. Rebound, Oldacre in the paint, and the basketball to Texas. Longhorn ball up 13-11, 9:27 to go in the second quarter. Preston calling out a new play. Defended well by Collins. Flips the basketball to Oldacre. Then on the left wing to Lee. Lee to the left corner. Aaliyah Crump. Crump against Collins, driving left baseline. Kicks in the right corner. Here's Sidbury with a three-pointer. That's good. Sidbury knocking down just her 7th made three-pointer of the season, and that makes it Texas 16, Alabama 11. So the Longhorns back to a 5-point lead. Their largest lead earlier in the game was 11-4, a 7-point advantage. Collins over the timeline left, trying to get the Alabama offense going. Alabama shot the ball 20% in the first quarter. Bounce pass to Cody. Cody could not save the ball in play as she goes out of bounds over the baseline. And a turnover on the Crimson Tide. Turnovers mounting just a bit for Alabama. It's now 5 turnovers in the game compared to 4 by Texas. Longhorns will inbound the basketball with Sidbury standing along the baseline. Inbounds to Rory Harmon, who checks back in as Preston goes out. Also going out for Texas is Carlton. Madison Booker back in the ball game. Booker driving left baseline, pull-up jumper is up, in and out, no good. Rebound fought for, won by Booker on the baseline against Cody. Bounce pass to Oldacre, then to Booker at the top of the key. Booker guarded by Chambers to Crump. Crump, left side of the lane. Feels some pressure, spins, goes to Booker on the right side. 5 in the shot clock. Booker, free throw line. Left elbow jumper is up and good. Madison Booker scoring for the second time today. Texas now back to a 7-point lead at 18-11. Matching the largest the Longhorns have enjoyed today. 8 minutes to go before halftime. Texas outscoring Alabama 5-0 since we started the second quarter. Collins on the left wing, Chambers. Chambers guarded closely by Crump. Chambers to the top of the key, and a foul called on Chambers. Some contact trying to get some separation from her defender, and Tiana Chambers called for her first foul and the first team foul against Alabama, pushing off Aaliyah Crump. Fans in crimson issuing their displeasure at that call as the Longhorns look at the basketball back with Sidbury. As since Cody goes out, Joy Egbuna in. Just joining us, Naomi Jones, who typically replaces Cody on the floor at the forward spot. Jones unavailable with a leg injury for this game. And Texas unable to do anything on this possession as Sidbury's pass goes behind Booker, out of bounds on the left sideline. Turnover on the Longhorns, both teams turning over the basketball a lot to begin this game. 6 times for Alabama, 5 for Texas. Carly Weathers to inbound the basketball into the backcourt to Diana Collins. Crimson Tide trailing 18-11. Texas on a 5-0 start to this second quarter. Bounce pass to Weathers on the right wing. Thought about a handoff to Collins. Instead keeps the ball. She moves to the free throw line. Passes on the left wing, Timmons. Timmons guarded by Harmon. Timmons spinning around, fighting her way to the basket. Throws it up and banks in the shot. Jessica Timmons took over. That makes it Texas 18, Alabama 13. Crimson Tide on the scoreboard here in the second quarter. Booker, guarded by Chambers, just works the ball over the timeline right, in between the rings to Rory Harmon. Harmon, guarded by Carly Weathers, top of the key. Around a screen by Oldacre to the left. Pass to the top of the key, Sidbury. Alabama nearly got the steal with Collins. Now Crump, right wing three is off the iron, no good. Carly Weathers flies in for the rebounds, then goes out of bounds with the basketball, and will be off of Carly Weathers out of play. So the ball will stay with the Longhorns. New 20 on the shot clock put up for Texas with 6:51 to go in the second quarter. Longhorns 18, Crimson Tide 13. Roy Harmon goes out after that tough tumble to the floor a moment ago. It's Brianna Preston back in to run the offense for the Longhorns. She'll inbound the basketball left block. Quick shot up, too strong by Sidbury. Rebound on the right side by Alabama. Crimson Tide ball trailing 18-13. Chambers on the left wing. Nearly had a screen by Igbuna to work with. Now tried to dribble to the right side and pass to Collins, but that's quickly intercepted by Preston. She drives, and a left side layup is good. Late contact by Weathers, and she is called for the foul. It's an and one opportunity for the Longhorns, now up 20-13. Carly Weathers called for her first foul. 6:31 to go in the second quarter. Longhorns by 7, and a chance to make it 8 at the line with Preston. 5'9" sophomore from Jonesboro, Georgia. She is a 56% free throw shooter. And one for Preston coming up. Puts it on its way, and it kicks in. 21-13, Crimson Tide down by 8. Officials getting everything set to go at the scores table as Carly Weathers gets ready for the inbounds pass. Shot clock reads 24. Well, reset to 30. 6:31 on the game clock. Play ball. Weathers slaps the basketball, ready for the inbounds pass. Thought about a long pass over the timeline. Now just has to get it in, but a 5-second call. Weathers could not get the ball in play. Took too long in that inbounds pass. So a tough turnover again on Alabama, and Texas will have an opportunity to build on its largest lead of the game, 8 points. 6:31 to go before halftime. Alabama being outscored 8-2 in this second quarter. Bounce pass to Booker. Just right of center, and a foul called away from the ball. Contact on the Crimson Tide. And once again, Texas will inbound the basketball. And that was against Igbuna. So Joy has picked up 2 fouls in her time on the floor, playing against her home state, Texas Longhorns. She's from Arlington. Preston to inbound the basketball over a jumping Collins, and the pass is intercepted just for a moment by Alancia Ramsey. Then the ball deflects off her out of bounds along the left sideline. It's Christy Curry's fired up with Gina Cross. Fired up about a lot of contact she saw as the ball was coming in play. Their conversation is winding down as Texas will inbound the basketball. Booker in the backcourt to Preston. Now Preston at the top of the key. To Crump. Crump feeling the pressure by Diana Collins. 10 on the shot clock for the Longhorns, up by 8. Booker to Crump, top of the key. Loads up a 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Texas. It'll be Crimson Tide ball. 6:10 remaining in the second quarter. A second quarter where Texas has outscored Alabama 8-2. Essence Cody checks in for Alabama, replacing Joy Igbuna. Christy Curry, more words for Tiffany Bird, one of our officials for today as well. Carly Weathers, baseball pass, deep down the floor to Cody. She's got it. Right side layup, good. Vintage Carly Weathers on this senior day with that long pass. That makes David Weathers in the stands very happy, that a longtime Major League veteran. Ryan Weathers watching from Yankee spring training. I'd like that too. Here's Preston at the top of the key. 21-15 our score. Preston driving, left side layup. Couldn't get it past Cody and Ramsey as Cody picked it up. Ramsey picked it up on the floor. Bud sitting on the floor of the basketball turned it over. So with that, it'll be Texas basketball. Rory Harmon will check in, replacing Preston. Ramsey fighting so hard to get these loose basketballs, but falling to the hardwood each and every time she comes close to it. 21-15, Texas leads. Turnover by Ramsey. Texas set for the inbounds pass. Booker and Weathers trying to fight for positioning right inside the arc of the paints. Being told where they can and can't go by one of the officials, Tiffany Bird. Inbounds pass deflected off Weathers and right to Alancia Ramsey. Good opportunity for the Crimson Tide, getting a steal on the inbounds pass for Texas. Alabama down by 6 with the basketball. 5:35 to go in the second quarter. Here's Collins at the top of the key. Collins feeling pressure by Oldacre, trying to spin away from it, and whistle blown. And Crimson Tide will call a timeout. Christy Curry on to make sure this is a productive possession for Alabama. Timeout on the floor, 5:27 still to go in the second quarter. It's Texas 21, Alabama 15, our score. We'll be back with the remainder of the first half in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama trailing against Texas 21-15 with still 5:27 to go in the second quarter. Coming up, we will have the Toyota halftime report with first half stats and scores from around the country, including the SEC, especially as we take a look at those matchups for Kentucky against South Carolina, Tennessee against Vanderbilt. Ole Miss is slightly ahead of Alabama as well at 8-7 in the SEC. They take on Texas A&M today, and Georgia against Florida. Those are some of the key matchups to determine the seeding for the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament from Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Play will start at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. I believe that's 11 a.m. Eastern. Yes, 11 a.m. Eastern. So if Alabama ends up as the number 9 seed, you could have the Crimson Tide start play at 10 a.m. Central on Wednesday in the first round game against a team that we know is going to be the number 16 seed, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas 0-15 in the SEC this year. And they're taking on the Auburn Tigers coming up later today. So we'll see. Still will not know probably when we head off air what seed Alabama will be, but make sure you follow us on the Crimson Tide Sports Network social media platforms at UACTSN. We'll have you covered for the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament coming up from the upstate of South Carolina. 21-15, Weathers inbounds the basketball to Cody. Cody gets tangled up with Oldacre, and she is called for the foul. Kyla Oldacre guilty of her first foul. First foul against the Longhorns in the second quarter. Oldacre will head out, and Brea Cunningham will check back in. Diana Collins ready to inbound the basketball for Crimson Tide. From the left baseline, Collins, and a 5-second call again on Alabama. Second one we've seen against the Crimson Tide. Carly Weathers is trying to go the length of the floor, but this one right at Alabama's own basket, taking away a good opportunity to cut into a 6-point deficit. 5:20 to go before the half. Basketball back with the University of Texas. On the right wing, Crump to the top of the key. Sidbury will quickly hand the basketball to Booker. Booker, 2 for 3 in her shooting so far today. Harmon at the top of the key to Crump. Crump, free throw line against Collins. Downhill down the left side lane, throws up a shot, leaves it short. Rebound left block, Carly Weathers. Crimson Tide in transition with Collins. Collins on the right wing, on the screen by Cody. Some separation from her defender on the left wing to Weathers. Weathers against Booker. To the free throw line. Right side lane. Carly spins. Looks for help. Floats at top of the key to Collins. 10 on the shot clock. Collins pops a three-pointer. Off the back iron, no good. And the rebound in the two hands of Cunningham. Basketball to Texas. 6-point Longhorn advantage. Harmon in the right corner. Head fake by Crump. Crump back to Harmon. Harmon on the right block. Drifts back to the right wing. Now in between the rings for Rory Harmon. Master at leading this offense for Texas, owning the Texas career assist and steals record with what she's done during her time on the 40 acres. 5 in the shot clock. Harmon on the left baseline. Bounce pass to Cunningham. Left elbow extended. Her jumper is up. Kicks off the iron. No good. And a fight for the rebound. A whistle-blown jump ball, and the arrow favors Alabama. Good defensive stop for the Crimson Tide, especially right at the end. Jessica Timmons tying up the basketball. 2 starters back in for Texas, Lee and Carlton replacing Crump as well as Sidbury, 2 players that come off the bench for head coach Vic Schaefer. 4:05 to go in the second quarter. Texas 21, Alabama 15. Weathers to inbound the basketball, which has been a problem so far in this game. And another long one comes in and finally inbounds to Collins. Collins with Alabama trailing by 6. Collins at the top of the key, through some contact, passing to Ramsey on the right wing. Ramsey, hands in her face by Carlton. Tries to float it to Timmons, who is knocked down as she caught the pass. Hard contact from Lee as Timmons is slow to get up for the Crimson Tide. Her teammates will bend down and pick her up and bring her back to standing up straight. Lee called for the foul, her second in this game. Second foul on the Longhorns in the second quarter. Ramsey goes out. It's the Crimson Tide with Tamia Scott back in. Crimson Tide to inbound the basketball with Diana Collins. Quickly into Timmons, right baseline jumper is good. The mid-range shot good for Timmons to make it 21-17. Good to see that for Timmons, who is already leading the way with 9 points for Alabama. 3 of 5 shooting from Jess so far in this game. 9 of Alabama's 17 so far in the contest. 3.5 minutes to go before halftime. Booker on the right wing. To Harmon, just left of center. Harmon to the free throw line, now top of the key. Passing on the right side to Carlton. Carlton back to the top of the key. Here's Booker. Right block, her shot too strong. Rebound left side by Carlton. Left side layup good. 23-17 in favor of Texas by 6. 3:10 to go before halftime. Weathers trying to inbound the basketball and will to Collins. Collins quickly over the timeline right. Collins lets her offense catch up as she finds Weathers top of the key. Weathers to Cody. Cody's got it. Right side layup too strong, and the rebound by Cunningham in the paint. Texas in transition. Over the timeline to Harmon right side. The ball goes through her hands, over the sideline and out of play. John Merrill indicates that it is Alabama basketball. Crimson Tide will get ready for the inbounds pass. And he's sitting right there, courtside seats. Almost looked like an official making the call. Inbounds pass comes in to Diana Collins. Collins guarded by Booker. Taking the ball over the timeline right. Crimson Tide ball trailing by 6, 23-17. Basketball with Timmons. Timmons kicks it in the left corner. Scott with a 3. Give it to her. Tamia Scott cuts Texas's lead in half to 23-20. Good to see that three-pointer go, and good to see Tamia Scott on the board for the first time today. Basketball with Texas up by 3. Harmon top of the key. Bounce pass to Carlton. Just saved the ball in play along the right sideline. Top of the key to Cunningham. Cunningham in the right corner. Lee loads up a 3. Off the iron, no good. Fight for the rebound. Won by Cunningham. Top of the key. Harmon's 3 too strong. Saved in play by Timmons. Basketball back to Alabama. Crimson Tide down 3. Timmons, top of the key to Scott. Left wing 3 up. Off the back iron, no good. Harmon the rebound of the free throw line. Alabama looking for back-to-back three-pointers by Tamia Scott. That one could have tied the game. Minute 49 to go in the second quarter. Pass to Lee, driving right baseline. Dumps it off Cunningham in the paint. Little jumper is up and in. 25-20, Texas by 5. Minute 38 to go before halftime. Weathers trying to inbound the basketball. Will to Timmons. Timmons over the timeline right. Pressure by Booker. Now it's Timmons driving, right side layup on the way. No good, but contact, no foul called, and the basketball back to Texas. To Carlton, driving, right side layup good. Offensive foul. She made the shot, but taking the charge for Alabama, Tamia Scott. Carlton called for the foul. So the Crimson Tide will take it back the other way. Vic Schaefer in disbelief on the Texas sideline. Minute 20 to go in this second quarter. Crimson Tide will have the ball, trailing by 5, 25-20. Carly Weathers to inbound the basketball. Brings it in to Scott. Scott pressured by Harmon. Takes the ball over the timeline right. Scott at the top of the key. Hit a three-pointer 2 possessions ago for Alabama. Spinning around, guarded closely by Harmon, finding Collins on the left wing. Collins, top of the key, just inside the arc. 10 on the shot clock, 1 minute to go in the second quarter. Here's Collins. Collins, downhill down the left side of the lane. Dumps it off, Lourdes da Silva Costa. That layup too strong from the right side, and the basketball back to Texas. First minutes of the game for the native of Sweden, Lourdes da Silva Costa. Here's Texas with Harmon. Stepping inside the arc to the right block, jumper on the way, banked in off the square. 27-20, Texas by 7. 34 seconds to work with as the inbounds pass comes into Timmons, and a quick whistle and a foul called on Timmons. She had contact with Harmon, who fell to the floor as the ball was getting ready to be brought in play. Timmons did indeed knock her down, so for Jess Timmons, that is her first foul in the game. Christy Curry talking about the last call with Gina Cross along the Crimson Tide sideline. Texas will inbound the basketball, trying to build on a 7-point lead. Alabama hasn't scored in over 2 minutes. Harmon to inbound the basketball on a bounce to Booker, then quickly to Lee right side. Lee into the paint, throws it up, no good, but drew the contact, and she will go to the line. Timmons, all for another foul. The last 2 fouls on her in the last 4 seconds. Jordan Lee to the free throw line. Wyatta Jennings will take over for Timmons with 29.8 seconds to work with here in the second quarter. It's Lee at the line, 77% free throw shooter, and she makes the first. 28-20, Texas leading at Alabama. 29.8 seconds to go before halftime. One more for Jordan Lee, 6-foot sophomore from Stockton, California. Puts it in. 29-20. Christy Curry will bring on Essence Cody to head back to the floor, replacing da Silva Costa, with Alabama getting the basketball. Shot clock turned off with 29.8 seconds to work with. Texas will have full court pressure. Carly Weathers slaps the basketball, inbounds to Collins. Pressure will subside as Collins will pound the left-handed dribble over the middle of the timeline. Calling out a play and now getting the offense set for Alabama. Idle dribbling back and forth, right to left for Collins at mid-floor. Now gets moving with 15 seconds to work with. Alabama trailing by 9. Weathers, bounce pass to Cody outside the right elbow. 9 seconds left to Collins. Collins driving in for the right side. Her shot partially blocked by Cunningham, and a whistle blown with 5.8 seconds left, and it will be a foul on Brea Cunningham. Second foul on Cunningham, 4th team foul on the University of Texas. That will send Alabama to the free throw line with Diana Collins. Collins today has not scored, 0 for 4 from the floor. Diana, a 72% free throw shooter. Collins in her second year with Alabama after transferring from Ohio State. First one, off the back iron, no good. Remains Texas 29, Alabama 20. Crimson Tide have not scored in the last 2.5 minutes after cutting it to a 3-point game. Collins puts it up. Off the back iron, no good, and the rebound by Booker. 4 seconds left. Booker with the basketball just past mid-floor. 1 second left, top of the key, doesn't get off a shot, and that ends the second quarter of action as Texas will carry a 6-0 run into the locker room, and the Longhorns in a low-scoring game with the advantage at halftime. Our score in Tuscaloosa, Texas 29 and Alabama 20. We'll step aside and be back with the Toyota halftime report next. Once again, the score in T-Town. It's Texas 29 and Alabama 20. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. 29-20 against Alabama in a top 25 matchup to close the regular season. Roger Hoover, glad to welcome you to the Toyota Halftime Report as we take a look at the first half stats. First of all, for the Crimson Tide, tough shooting in this ball game. More tough in the first quarter, 3 of 14. Alabama was just 4 of 10 in the second quarter, but limited by some turnovers as well in quarter number 2. So for the game, Alabama shooting 29% from the floor, 7 of 24. From 3, Alabama's 2 of 9, and the Crimson Tide 4 of 6 at the free throw line. Rebounding battle won by Texas only by 1 rebound, 19-18. Alabama with 5 assists, 11 turnovers, 3 steals, no blocks for the Tide. Meanwhile, for Texas, 38% shooting from the floor, 12 of 31, 2 of 8 from 3, and a perfect 3 of 3 at the free throw line. 19 rebounds, as I mentioned, for the Longhorns, 6 assists, 8 turnovers, 3 steals, and 4 blocks. Top scorer for Alabama, Jessica Timmons, leading the way with 11 points for the Crimson Tide, 4 of 7 shooting for Timmons, along with 1 for 3 from three-point land. Then the other scorers for the Crimson Tide, Essence Cody with 4 points, 3 points by Tamia Scott on her three-pointer that made it 23-20, but then the Crimson Tide did not score again the rest of the second quarter. Also 2 points off the bench by Joy Egbuna. For the Texas Longhorns, led so far by Jordan Lee with 7 points and pretty balanced scoring beyond that. 6 points by Brea Cunningham, Madison Booker, Justice Carlton, both with 4 points. 3 points each by Breonna Preston and Taya Sidbury. Alabama has not led in this contest. Texas has led by as much as 9 points, and Longhorns led for 18:45 in the first half. Our score at halftime, Texas 29 and Alabama 20. We'll be back with more of the Toyota Halftime Report in just a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Time in Tuscaloosa, Texas 29 and Alabama 20. We will take a look at scores from around the SEC. Really kind of set the matchups as we're the early game today. Alabama Power scoreboard update. When you cheer, we cheer. Alabama Power, a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Well, we'll certainly be keeping our eyes on what's going on in Lexington starting at 1 o'clock with the Kentucky Wildcats hosting third-ranked South Carolina. If Kentucky loses that game, they would drop to 8-8, and Alabama does have a tiebreaker against them, but also Alabama to get to 8-8 would need a win today against Texas. Also, Tennessee will be hosting 5th-ranked Vanderbilt coming up. Tennessee currently the 8th seed in the SEC tournament, also at 8-7 in the SEC. Auburn will be at Arkansas. Texas A&M will be against Ole Miss. The Rebels also 8-7, as Coach O's team has had a tough stretch of late. Florida will be taking on Georgia in Athens. Georgia also in the mix along with Alabama. Georgia is 7-8, so a win over the Florida Gators would get Georgia to 8-8, which would move them past Alabama if the Crimson Tide lose this game. Now, if Alabama wins and Georgia wins, both would be 8-8. Alabama would have the head-to-head tiebreaker over Georgia thanks to that win in Athens earlier this season. Coming up at 3, it's number 6 LSU at Mississippi State, and then number 7 Oklahoma against Missouri. But right now, we're the only game in progress, getting everything started on this final day of the regular season. Alabama trailing against Texas 29-20, our score at halftime. We will step aside and be back with more of the Toyota Halftime Report next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. At halftime, Texas 29 and Alabama 20. What to expect in the second half is presented by Coca-Cola. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. Well, hopefully the offense will get going for the Crimson Tide. Alabama just 7 of 24 shooting in this game, 29%, and then three-pointers, which has been a real strength of this Alabama team this year, shooting 37% from three. Right now held to 22%, 2 of 9, a slow start from three, in addition to only making 2 shots, only taking 9. It's kind of low for Alabama at this point. But if the Crimson Tide can get some three-pointers to fall and then just kind of stay with Texas on the boards. Right now, Texas 19-18 out-rebounding Alabama, and for the Crimson Tide playing shorthanded without Naomi Jones in this ball game, that's a good thing. But Essence Cody is going to be really counted on getting some rebounds. Carly Weathers is leading the way with 4 rebounds so far in this ball game. Cody has 2 rebounds in her 15 minutes, but some second chance points would really help Alabama. Texas is outscoring Alabama in second chance points 6-2 so far in this ball game. Before we go any further, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. That's 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Back in Tuscaloosa, our score at halftime, Texas 29 and Alabama 20. Teams about to return to the floor, so that does it for the Toyota Halftime Report. Visit your local Toyota dealers or explore setoyota.com today and take advantage of the deals on our full line of vehicles. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places. Second half starting next. Our score, Texas 29, Alabama 20 in women's basketball. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Our score, 4th-ranked Texas 29 and 24th-ranked Alabama 20. Roger Hoover, glad to welcome you back courtside here at Coleman Coliseum. This game being produced by Jerry Kelly in addition to Ryan Williams. No, not the Crimson Tide wide receiver, but Ryan Williams is working hard back at our Learfield studios along with Jerry Kelly on this Sunday morning into afternoon. Also, hello to everybody watching the basketball booth cam presented by NASCAR on all of our CTSN social media platforms, streaming live there at the moment, produced by Ethan Carabin, and then the Vice President General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. You can see on camera right now, Jim Carabin. Appreciate him being here courtside as well on this Senior Day Sunday for Alabama women's basketball. Crimson Tide trailing by 9 points. Alabama had cut it to a 3-point score at 23-20 on a made three by Tamia Scott. But then after that, Texas went on a 6-0 run to close out the second quarter. So right now, Alabama trailing at 29-20 as we start the third quarter. Alabama in the home white jerseys. Texas in the road burnt orange. Our officials, Tiffany Bird, Gina Cross, and Demoya Pugh. Alabama returns to the floor with Tamia Scott, Essence Cody, Carly Weathers, Jessica Timmons, and Diana Collins. Meanwhile, for Texas, Justice Carlton, Rory Harmon, Madison Booker, Brea Cunningham, and Jordan Lee. Texas basketball as we start quarter number 3. Longhorns now on the left goal for the remainder of this game. The Crimson Tide on the right. Underway in the third quarter. Texas ball up by 9. Harmon on the right wing. To the free throw line, Cunningham. Cunningham guarded by Cody. Punches it to the right corner, Booker. Booker, right side lane, jumper off the back iron, no good. And the rebound by Cunningham along the baseline. Quickly finds Lee. Lee now at the top of the key, swings it to Carlton. Carlton back to Lee in the right corner. Shot clock at 10. Here's a pass tipped by Cody, stolen away by Timmons. Great work by Alabama on defense, first possession of the third quarter. Here's Weathers at the top of the key, loads up a three-pointer, in and out, no good, and the rebound by Cunningham right to Harmon. Basketball with the Longhorns up 9. Harmon left side range, mid-range jumper is up and good, 31-20, thanks to Rory Harmon's mid-range jumper. Alabama down 11. Carly Weathers inbounds the basketball to Timmons. Timmons takes the ball over the timeline right. Now it's Timmons driving to the right block, leaves the layup short, and the rebound by Carlton. Timmons is hoping a foul would be called. Instead, basketball with Texas Harmon. Driving right block, throws up a right side layup too strong. Booker the rebound left side. Her putback is up and good. 33-20 in favor of Texas. And with that, Christy Curry will call a timeout with 8:48 to go in the third quarter. And we'll step aside as well. Timeout on the floor. Texas with the first 4 points in the second half. Longhorns in front, 33-20 at Alabama. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama 20 with still 8:48 to go in the third quarter from Coleman Coliseum. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Make sure you download the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Very busy time right now around Crimson Tide athletics as we have seen both baseball and softball in action over the weekend, including softball today. Getting to host that T-Mobile Crimson Classic, and softball currently with a 1-0 lead against St. Thomas. That game in the top of the fourth. Later on, a game that was added, it will be Alabama against Oakland to round out play at Rhodes Stadium. And then the Crimson Tide baseball team also be in action against Houston coming up later today to round out play at the Frisco College Classic in Frisco, Texas. That game will be at 3 o'clock Central. Appreciate Jack Smith doing a great job filling in for us on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Calling a couple wins so far for Alabama last night against a top 25 team in Oregon State. Then on Friday, a resounding victory against Iowa as well. So good weekends for Crimson Tide softball and baseball, and of course men's basketball. Led when it counted, got the defensive stop when it counted. Great win on Rocky Top last night over the Tennessee Volunteers. Love that for Coach Oates and the Crimson Tide as the winning streak continues. Hope that'll roll into Athens on Tuesday night. Right now, women's basketball. As the inbounds pass came in, a whistle blown and a foul called, pushing off against Crimson Tide defender, I believe, Tamia Scott. So it's actually Jessica Timmons. So Timmons called for the foul. And with that, Timmons now has 3 fouls in this game. She heads to the bench for Alabama. Takes away an Alabama possession as well. Texas already outscoring Alabama 4-0. Here's Booker, SEC logo, putting it up and putting it in to make it 35-20 in favor of Texas. Inbounds pass to Diana Collins. Collins over the timeline left. Collins to Jennings, now to Weathers, top of the key, thought about a three. Carly steps inside the arc, guarded by Booker. Dancing around the left side, lost control of the ball, flipped and stolen by Lee, and then sitting on the floor, gives the basketball to Booker. She drives, right side layup good. Texas 37, Alabama 20. 8-0 run for the Longhorns first 2 minutes of the second quarter. Jennings driving under the basket, reverse layup left side, good on senior day for Wyatta Jennings. 37-22. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's Harmon at the top of the key. A couple steps to the right side for the Longhorns. Bounce pass on the right block to Booker, then back on the perimeter to Lee. Lee driving in from the right side, throws up a jumper, no good. Rebound on the left side by Cunningham from Carlton to Harmon, top of the key, 5 in the shot clock. Harmon, free throw line jumper is off balance and short, and the rebound by Tamia Scott in the Crimson paint. Basketball with Alabama trailing 37-22. Here is Scott, right side of the lane. Kicks it to the right side to Collins. Collins, top of the key to Jennings, who puts up a three-pointer. That's in. He checked for Wyata Jennings, scoring the last 5 points for Alabama, making it 37-25. Alabama climbing back in the game, and Jennings, a native of New Zealand, her family here for her senior day, getting to see her play well for the Crimson Tide. Top of the key, Harmon with the basketball. Bounce pass to Booker. Booker driving against Scott. Still fighting her way for positioning. Booker passing top of the key to Lee, 5 in the shot clock. Harmon, left elbow, free throw line. Harmon, 2 seconds left, puts it up, leaves it short. Rebound, Carlton, right side layup, no good. And the rebound taken away, Carly Weathers. Texas wanted contact on that. Last shot by Carlton. Here's Collins driving. Collins to Jennings, top of the key. Jennings floating it to Cody, right side layup good. Alabama's fighting back and leading the charge. Wyata Jennings, great assist there on the basket made by Essence Cody. 37-27, 10-point game, 6:20 to play in the third quarter. Harmon taking the ball over the timeline for the Longhorns on the right wing. Harmon floating it right side lane to Carlton. Carlton spins under the basket, tries to save the ball inbounds, could not do it as the ball is deflected out of bounds by Carly Weathers. Great defense by Alabama. It'll be Texas ball with 13 on the shot clock. Tamia Scott goes out for the Crimson Tide. Alancia Ramsey, known for her defense, back in. Texas to inbound the basketball. Harmon, right baseline. Jumping up and down in front of the ball is Collins. It comes in play to Booker. Right side jumper on the way, and she's got it. 39-27. Carly Weathers for the inbounds pass. In play just to Collins, and now backcourt pressure will subside as Collins pushes tempo to the top of the key. Couple steps to the left wing, picked up on defense by Booker. Collins flicks the basketball top of the key to Cody. Cody directing traffic on the right wing, a handoff to Jennings. Jennings top of the key. Jennings pierces the paint. Bounce pass to the top of the key, deflected, but finds Ramsey. 10 on the shot clock. Ramsey downhill down the right side lane against Carlton, looking for help. Bounce pass in the paint. Carly Weathers cutting to the basket, puts it up, puts it in through contact. Carly Weathers makes it a 10-point game at 39-29. What an assist as well by Lancia Ramsey for the Crimson Tide, picking up her first assist of the game. Here is Harmon to Cunningham, left wing, a handoff to Booker. Booker with 12 points, doing a lot of good work in the third quarter for the Longhorns. To Cunningham, right-hand hook shot in the paint over Cody is up and in. 41-29, Texas leading as we're at the midway point of the third quarter. Diana Collins over the timeline right. Tight defense on her by Lee. Collins still guarded closely by Lee, and Lee finally gets the steal. Turns everything around for Texas. Lee with the basketball. Longhorns up 41-29. Turnaround jumper right side is no good, but she draws the foul. And free throws will be coming up for Lee when we come back. Diana Collins called for her second foul in this game. Timeout on the floor. 4 minutes, 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Alabama's found some offense in this quarter, but still trailing Texas 41-29. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Texas 41 and Alabama 29. Again, make sure you join us coming up tomorrow. Hey Coach and the Nate Oates Show, presented by Alpha Insurance, will be coming your way at 6 p.m. from Baumhauer's Victory Grill here in Tuscaloosa. Available to listen to on our full radio network, Varsity Network app, as well as the online stream right here on all of your CTSN social media platforms to watch at UA_CTSN. Looking forward to hearing from Coach Oates as the Crimson Tide will be making their way to Athens for men's basketball coming up this week. And then, of course, senior day for the men's basketball team will be Saturday night against Auburn University. Right now, it's women's basketball in the midst of its senior day, currently trailing 41-29 against Texas. First ever visit for the Longhorns here to Tuscaloosa in women's basketball. Texas 4-0 all-time against Alabama in women's basketball. A couple of matchups again in the 80s, neutral site and in Austin, and then revived just before Texas joined the SEC. Second round of the NCAA tournament in 2024, a game won by the Longhorns at the Moody Center in Austin, and then the Crimson Tide went back to the Moody Center last January and fell to Texas in the first ever matchup between the schools as SEC opponents. Right now, Texas returning to the floor with Jordan Lee at the free throw line. 77% free throw shooter was fouled by Diana Collins just before we went to a timeout on the floor. It's the Crimson Tide trailing 41-29. Texas outscoring Alabama 12-9 in the 13th quarter, and it stays that way as the first free throw is no good by Jordan Lee. Second free throw on the way, that's good. Basketball back to Alabama, trailing 42-29. 13-point deficit for the Tide. Carly Weathers trying to inbound the basketball, and the pass deflected out of bounds by Harmon. It'll still be Crimson Tide ball. Carly once again set for the inbounds pass. Jess Timmons will check back in for Alabama. Has got to be careful. Timmons is playing with 3 fouls. First Crimson Tide player to 3 fouls in this game. Texas, nobody with more than 2 fouls to this point in the game. Carly Weathers to inbound the basketball again. On a bounce, brings it into Jennings. Bounce pass to Timmons, cutting over the timeline left. Crimson Tide ball trailing 42-29. Alabama's made 4 shots in a row. Got to keep the offense going. Pass intended from Timmons to Egbuna, sails over her head and over the baseline out of bounds. Turnover. Give the basketball back to Texas. 42-29, Longhorns lead with 4:25 to go in the third quarter. Texas trying to finish the regular season at 28-3, all 3 of their losses in conference action. Texas with Carlton at the top of the key. Out to Harmon. Harmon to the top of the key. Just left of center. Lee makes a move. A bounce pass to the left block. Carlton, her layup short. Rebound tapped around and finally controlled by Alancia Ramsey in the Crimson paint. Here comes Alabama trailing 42-29. Timmons with the basketball right wing. Timmons. Top of the key. Timmons left side lane into the paint. Back to the right wing. Guarded by Harmon. Timmons pounding the left-handed dribble at the top of the key. Now to the right elbow, jumper on the way is short, and the rebound, Egbuna, left side of the lane. Egbuna cycles the possession for the Tide, fights her way in, forces up a shot, and puts it home. The Texan, Joy Egbuna, scores to make it 42-31. 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Alabama's getting offense, 5 of its last 6 from the floor. Now just has to get some stops against a very good Texas team, averaging 85 points per game. Harmon. Guarded in between the rings by Jennings. On the right wing, flips the basketball to Lee. Lee to Crump at the top of the key. Crump guarded by Carly Weathers. Carly stabbing in the basketball. Crump retrieves at 9 on the shot clock. Bounce pass to Carlton. Carlton at the top of the key. Carlton feeling some pressure. To Crump, top of the key. Lee with the three-pointer up and in right before the shot clock buzzer. That makes it Texas 45, Alabama 31. Alabama with very good defense up until the last moments of the shot clock. A bounce pass inbounds to Timmons from Carly Weathers. Timmons over the timeline. Now Timmons at the top of the key to Weathers on the left wing. Weathers steps inside the arc to the free throw line, and a foul is called on Texas before Weathers would put a shot up and in. Crump called for the foul. That'll be her first, and the first team foul against Texas here in the third quarter. Joy Egbuna heads to the bench to high fives and applause from her teammates with Essence Cody back in. Longhorns also bring in Kyla Oldacre, who stands at 6'6", tallest player on the floor. Now in for Texas. Inbounds pass to Cody against Oldacre. Lost control of the ball thanks to contact by Oldacre. She's called for the foul. Second foul called against her. Second team foul on Texas. Now the Crimson Tide ready to inbound the basketball with Carly Weathers. From the left baseline, inbound top of the key to Jessica Timmons. Crimson Tide ball trailing by 14. Here's Timmons, free throw line in the paint. Lost control of the ball thanks to contact. Rory Harmon guilty of some contact there. First foul on Harmon. 3 team fouls on Texas within the last few seconds. We ruled a shooting foul, so it will be Timmons going to the free throw line. Here is Timmons to the line, 85% free throw shooter. 2 for 2 today, now 3 for 3. 45-32, one more coming up for Timmons. Two dribbles, puts it up, and in. 2 for 2 for Timmons to make it 45-33. Alabama down 12, 2:27 still to go in the third quarter. Madison Booker just checked back in the game, the reigning SEC Player of the Year. Bounce pass into Harmon. Harmon pushing tempo right to left to an open Lee. Her pass finds Oldacre. Right side layup up. It's good and one. Late contact by the Crimson Tide trying to slow her down. Essence Cody has been in foul trouble recently for the Tide. Fouled out against Florida last week. Picked up a lot of fouls against Vandy. Picks up just her first of the game here with 2:20 to go in quarter number 3. Oldacre to the free throw line. 66% free throw shooter, and she converts the and one. 48-33, Texas by 15. Inbounds pass to Timmons. Dealing with backcourt pressure, Timmons over the timeline left. Timmons on the right wing, a handoff to Jennings. Jennings downhill on the left side, gets past Oldacre, layup up and short. Rebound by Oldacre on the left block, and the basketball to Texas. Booker over the timeline left. Madison Booker around the screen by Oldacre. Downhill on the right side lane against Cody. Throws up a shot, no good. Oldacre the rebound and her shot up, no good, but fouled once again. Let's see if it's on Essence Cody once again. Looks like it could be Jessica Timmons. That is her 4th foul. With still 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Now Timmons heads out. Official stats has the foul on Ramsey, but announced to the crowd on Timmons and her leaving the floor. I can believe that was on Timmons, so that first free throw is up and good by Oldacre. And right now they're getting confirmation on who the foul was on. That free throw is up, no good, and the rebound by Jennings again. Official stats had it as Ramsey as she moves her way down the floor. Right side layup good. Good to see that for Ramsey, whether she committed a foul or not. 49-35 the score, and the basketball back with Texas. Top of the key, Carlton to Lee on the right wing. Lee dribbling to the top of the key. 49-35, Texas leads Alabama. Carlton's right side jumper is no good, and the rebound fought for, called on Texas just as Ramsey is going for the basketball. She's fouled by Oldacre, who's guilty of her 3rd foul. Looks like the foul indeed was on Timmons. Now 4 fouls listed for her in the official scoring. So that's been straightened out just a moment ago. Oldacre heads out. Heading back in for Texas, Brea Cunningham stands at 6'4". The Crimson Tide will bring in another player who stands at 6'3", Lourdes da Silva Costa. She'll replace Alancia Ramsey. Alabama without Ace Austin for this game, dealing with concussion-like symptoms from a week ago, and then Naomi Jones, leg injury against Vanderbilt, out for the game, holding one crutch as she sits on the bench for the Crimson Tide. Here is Collins. Spins around, right side lane. Dumps it off to Jennings, back to Collins' right side. Collins starts to attack again from the right side against Lee, and she traveled with the basketball just as Booker was trying for a steal just from behind. Basketball will go to Texas. Ashton Judd, we saw her play previously in the SEC for Missouri. She inbounds the basketball to Rory Harmon. Judd, averaging only 14 minutes per game, has only played in 17 games for Texas, averaging 5 points, 4 rebounds per game after being a consistent starter for Missouri. Now it's Judd passing on the left wing to Harmon. 10 on the shot clock, bounce pass to Judd, top of the key. Carly Weathers trying to go for the steal. Judd maintaining possession, spins her way out of pressure, passes to Cunningham. 3 on the shot clock. Cunningham back to the basket. Cunningham will force up an underhand shot, no good. Shot clock violation. Good defense at the last moment by Essence Cody for Alabama. 40 seconds to work with. We are in the third quarter. Texas 49, Alabama 35. Low-scoring game for both of these teams. Alabama's getting stops, but offense has been hard to come by today. The inbounds pass into Diana Collins. Collins over the timeline. Now Collins, top of the key to Carly Weathers. Weathers to the free throw line, into the paint. Looks for some help. Bounce pass to Silva Costa, driving. Right side layup, no good, but she draws the foul. Tough tumble to the floor for De Silva Costa as she collects the contact from Texas and will go to the free throw line. Ashton Judd called for the foul. It'll be her first. 5th team foul. Alabama in the bonus the remaining 25.5 seconds of the third quarter. Lourdes to the free throw line, a 77% free throw shooter. Joy Igbuna will check in, replacing Essence Cody for the Crimson Tide. Silva Costa at the line, ready for the first of 2 shots. Makes the first. 49-36. Crimson Tide trailing by 13 with 25 seconds to play. Quarter number 3 in Tuscaloosa. Silva Costa puts that up and in. 49-37. Alabama once again cutting it to a 12-point game. Texas ball with 20 seconds to play with here in the third quarter. Harmon just over the timeline. Tight defense on her by Jennings. Rory Harmon. 10 seconds to play. Harmon, top of the key. 5 seconds left. Bounce pass on the right baseline. Booker, 3 seconds left. Back to Harmon, top of the key. Inside the arc right side. Her jumper is up and short, and the third quarter comes to a close. Alabama with a good defensive stop. Crimson Tide had its best quarter in terms of scoring in this game. Unfortunately, Texas can say the same thing. Texas outscored Alabama 20-17 in the third quarter. And as we head to the final 10 minutes of play, it's Alabama down by 12, 49-37 against Texas. Fourth quarter starts next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Start the fourth quarter in Tuscaloosa. Our score, Texas 49 and Alabama 37. Again, make sure you subscribe to the Crimson Tide Sports Network on all of your favorite social media platforms at UA_CTSN, including later this evening. We get the official bracket from the Southeastern Conference for the women's basketball tournament to be played this week in Greenville, South Carolina. If you have a chance to make the trip, not a far drive at all. It takes either kind of a morning or an afternoon depending on where you live in Alabama to make your way to Greenville, but a great downtown setting. Great hotels, restaurants, all downtown, all within walking distance of Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Very comfortable place to watch a game as well. Just a great setting for women's basketball. So I'm going to really encourage all Alabama fans to make the trip, support this Crimson Tide team, and we will know by the end of tonight when Alabama is playing in the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. At the moment, Alabama, the 9 seed, would be slated to play at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. in Greenville on Wednesday morning. But a lot of it will depend on not only the outcome of Alabama's game, but the outcomes of games for Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas A&M, kind of all in that same range. Ole Miss as well, and Oklahoma at 10-5, not in that mix, but a lot of other results will determine where Alabama goes. And the good thing is Crimson Tide do have some tiebreakers against especially teams like Kentucky, Georgia, and Texas A&M. Well, Texas A&M would not have a tiebreaker, but Kentucky and Georgia advantage Alabama. Right now, advantage Texas as we start the fourth quarter. 49-37. Carly Weathers will inbound the basketball. Playing for the final time at home here in Coleman Coliseum. On senior day, she inbounds the basketball to another senior, Wyatt Jennings. Carly's played 4 years at the capstone for Jennings. This is her only season in Crimson after previously being at Baylor University. Here is Carly Weathers. To the Silva Costa. Makes a move, drives, left side, goes to the right side. Cody, her shot up, no good, but she's fouled. And free throws on the way for Essence Cody. Freya Cunningham called for her third foul. 16 seconds into the fourth quarter. Actually, the foul will go on Jordan Lee. So for Lee, that foul will be her third. So 3 on Lee. Cunningham still with 2. Essence Cody to the free throw line, 2 of 2 in this game. First one is good. 49-38, Alabama trailing Texas early in the fourth. Cody 2 for 2, 49-39. 10-point game. Texas with basketball. Got to keep stringing together stops if you're Alabama. Harmon just past Jennings over the timeline right. Harmon, top of the key to Carlton. Carlton has her pass deflected, but still finds Booker. Carly Weathers had the deflection. Harmon in the paint. That pass is stolen. That's by Tamia Scott. Good takeaway for the Crimson Tide, down by 10. Now Scott at the top of the key. Scott to Jennings on the right wing, nearly stolen by Harmon. Now it's Jennings. SEC logo forces it up left side. That kicks in for the senior. 49-41, Alabama to within 8. 9-10 to go. Texas with the basketball. Harmon over the timeline, picked up on defense by Jennings. What a great game she's having. 7 points on her senior day. Harmon passing top of the key to Lee. Hand in her face by De Silva Costa. On the left side, Booker against Weathers. Booker, step back jumper on the way, short, and the rebound Booker. Driving in, layup up, no good, offensive foul. Booker knocking down the Crimson Tide defender. Guess who? Wyatt Jennings. Taking the charge for Alabama. Jennings with inspired play today. And now the basketball to Alabama. Offensive foul on Booker will be her first of the game. Texas with 2 team fouls in the first minute plus of the fourth quarter. 8:48 to go. Carly Weathers to inbound the basketball. On a bounce to Wyatt Jennings. Jennings gallops over the timeline. Top of the key. Hurries left side lane. Layup up. Too strong. And a foul called. Foul called on Booker. So back to the free throw line will be Wyatt Jennings. 2 fouls on Booker here in the last 10 seconds. Jennings to the free throw line for Alabama. Playing for Baylor before making her way to the capstone. And now on the line to shoot 2. First one, no good. Keeps the score where it is. Texas 49, Alabama 42. One more for Jennings. Puts it up and puts it in. Wada Jennings now with 8 points. 9 points is her Alabama career high set against ULM earlier this season. Steele Costa goes out. Lancia Ramsey brought in. Alabama likes to press with Ramsey on the floor right now. Harmon takes the basketball over the timeline, picked up on defense by Jennings, and Vic Schaefer would like to talk things over with the Longhorns. Alabama starting this quarter on a 5-0 run. Work to be done, but Alabama's made it a 7-point contest with 8:36 to go. We'll step aside and be back with the remainder of the fourth quarter in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. .36 to go in the fourth quarter. Texas 49 and Alabama 42 in a top 25 matchup to round out the regular season. After the game, make sure you stay tuned for the Regions postgame show with head coach Christy Curry, plus the final stats and more, and get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Well, Alabama trailing 49-42, but the Crimson Tide were down by 12 points going into this quarter. So Alabama, first minute plus of the fourth quarter, scoring 5 points, Texas with none. As a result, Vic Schaefer calling a timeout. Talk things over with the Longhorns. Alabama trying to fight back against Texas. Texas has won all previous 4 meetings in women's basketball against Alabama, and this is the first time Texas has ever played a women's basketball game here in Tuscaloosa. All their meetings in Austin or on neutral sites. But right now, it's Texas with the advantage, 49-42. We keep talking about the SEC tournament. What really will be determined later today will be whether or not Texas will be the number 2 or number 3 seed for the SEC tournament. Of course, South Carolina won the regular season. The Gamecocks 14-1, clinching the title, with Vanderbilt and Texas right behind at 12-3. Vanderbilt earlier this season beat Texas, so the Commodores have the tiebreaker against Texas for the number 2 seed. And that is notable because then you could have a matchup with South Carolina in the semifinals as opposed to being bracketed for the championship game against Carolina, only about hour, 10 minutes away from their campus in Columbia in Greenville, South Carolina. Texas will inbound the basketball with Jordan Lee coming up from the right sideline for the Texas Longhorns. Lee looks to Harmon, guarded by Scott, dumps it just over the sideline in play to Rory Harmon. Harmon in this ball game with 4 points, 2 of 10 from the floor, and an offensive foul away from the ball on Texas. That's Umbrea Cunningham. That is her 3rd foul. 4th team foul on Texas. 4 fouls in the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter on the Longhorns, none on Alabama. That might even up over the next few minutes, so be advised the Crimson Tide could be called for some 50-50 calls coming up here. Here's Jennings just over the timeline. Wayata bounce pass top of the key to Alancia Ramsey. Ramsey step to the right, still at the top of the key, deflects to the left side to Carly Weathers, driving in, left side layup good, Carly Weathers. 49-44, Alabama to within 5 8:05 to go in Tuscaloosa. Harmon just over the timeline. Harmon at the top of the key to Cunningham. And then to Booker. Booker to Lee along the left baseline. Nearly stolen by Wyatta Jennings. To Cunningham, left block against Cody. Throws up a shot. No good. Cody was going for the block. Instead, it looks like she'll be called for the foul. Cody called for her second foul. Vic Schaefer has taken his suit jacket off. It's getting serious with 7:49 to go in the fourth quarter. Texas 49, Alabama 44. Vic sitting next to his daughter Blair, who of course played for him in Mississippi State. First free throw on the way is good. 50-44. Alabama starting this quarter on a 7-0 run. One more coming up for Cunningham. This is on its way. And that's short, and the rebound to Mia Scott. Here comes Alabama down by 6. Still, the Crimson Tide only 3 3-pointers made in this game, but the fourth quarter would be a great time for Alabama to find its shot from deep. Scott's one of the capable three-point shooters. She's got the ball at the free throw line. Scott to Weathers. Weathers, free throw line. Bounce pass to Cody. She's got it. Leaves a layup short, left side contact, but no foul called. Outraged on the Crimson Tide sideline as the Longhorns work with the basketball up 6. 7:20 to play. Here's Harmon, left side lane. Tough jumper won't go, and the rebound to Scott in the paint. Bump down to the floor. Foul called against Texas. Should be on Carlton. The teams will head down the other end of the floor. That's the 5th team foul on Texas. So the Crimson Tide will spend vast majority of this quarter in the bonus. Carlton picking up her 3rd foul. 3 fouls on Justice Carlton. 3 fouls on Carlton. So to the free throw line to Mia Scott. Alabama in the bonus the remainder of this game. Texas foul trouble. Several players with 3 fouls. 4 of them with 3 fouls. No one at 4. Here's to Mia Scott. Free throw up. Short. For the Crimson Tide, Jessica Timmons on the floor playing with 4 fouls. Picked up her 3rd foul with 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. One more on its way. Scott swirls out, no good. Rebound by Cunningham, so it stays at a 6-point Texas lead. Alabama had a chance to cut it to 4 at the line. Harmon over the timeline, 7:09 to go. Harmon, bounce pass to Carlton on the right wing, guarded by Scott. Bounce pass on the right block, goes out of bounds off of Booker, and the basketball to the Crimson Tide. Texas with 3 losses on the year, including at number 5 Vanderbilt, and then had back-to-back losses on the road against LSU and South Carolina. So all their losses have been to the elite of the SEC this season. Crimson Tide at the top of the key with Carly Weathers. Her pass intended for Scott, through her hands, stolen away by Lee. Lee driving down the right side lane, layup up, left it short, rebound fought for, and then a deflection up and in for Texas. 52-44. Need to see the replay to see who exactly touched that last. If it was Alabama or Texas. Madison Booker gets credited with the shot, and a turnover on to Mia Scott. Ball deflected out of play, out of bounds off of her along the left sideline of the backcourt. Booker was on tight defense, and the ball going out of bounds. Last touch by Scott. Crimson Tide will not appeal the call. It will indeed be Texas ball. This is a dangerous spot here. Alabama now down 8. Longhorns have an opportunity to build the lead back to double digits. Inbounds pass into Harmon. That was after Alabama missed those free throws a moment ago, and then Texas scored. Texas from Lee. The ball deflects back on the right wing to Harmon. 10 on the shot clock. Harmon guarded in between the rings by Jennings. Around the screen by Cunningham just to the right. Mid-range jumper too strong by Harmon. Rebound Carly Weathers. Harmon a tough game shooting, 2 of 12 from the floor. Here's Carly at the top of the key. Around the screen by Cody to the right. Back to the top of the key, Timmons to an open Cody. Left side layup good. Essence Cody making it a score of Texas 52, Alabama 46. Crimson Tide down by 6 once again, just under 6 minutes to play. Top of the key. Carlton tried for a handoff, nearly stolen by Weathers. Now the basketball finds Booker. Booker driving in, right side layup, banked in off the backboard. 54-46. Crimson Tide down by 8, 5:38 to play. Carly Weathers over the timeline left. Stabbing at the basketball, Booker. Weathers top of the key. On the left wing, Timmons. Timmons inside the arc. To the left corner, Jennings with a 3. Off the iron, no good. Rebound, Carlton, right baseline. Texas with the basketball, trying to build on an 8-point lead, 5:20 to play. Booker in between the rings. Booker around the screen just to the right. Top of the key, Carlton's open, her three-pointer is up and in. 57-46, now the Longhorns by 11 at the midway point of the fourth quarter. 5 minutes to go in Tuscaloosa. Timmons through traffic over the timeline. Timmons, left side lane, throws up a shot, no good. Contact and a foul call, dangerous for Timmons on that play. She, of course, is playing with 4 fouls. But Cunningham's called for the foul for Texas. Now she will collect her 4th foul with still 4:56 to go. Tamia Scott back in for Alabama. Wyana Jennings heads to the bench for the Crimson Tide. Also, Kyla Oldacre, standing at 6'6", will replace Brea Cunningham. Timmons to the free throw line. 13 points, leading Alabama in scoring in this game. 4 of 4 at the line in this contest. First one. Finally in. 57-47, 10-point game. One more coming up for Timmons. Puts it up and in. 57-48. Crimson Tide fighting back, trailing by 9 with 4:49 to go. Here's Booker at the top of the key, guarded by Weathers, drifting to the right. Around the screen by Oldacre to the free throw line. Pull-up jumper, Booker, off the iron, no good. Essence, Cody with the rebound, finding Scott, and then a jump ball is called, and possession favors Texas. Wow. Every Alabama fan was expecting a call. Christy Curry extends her arms in the air, thinking a foul as well, as Oldacre had a lot of contact on Scott, and no foul was called. Christy Curry very upset at this call and justified in her opinion. Texas will inbound the basketball to Oldacre, top of the key. Dumps it off to Booker. Downhill down the left side. Throw up a layup. Good and one for Booker. And Texas now in front, 59-48. Foul goes on Essence Cody. That is her 3rd. Student section still fired up. Redubbed Curry's Chaos for this women's basketball season. Now Curry getting some explanation from Gina Cross, as Cross will step away from that convo. Here's Booker with the N1, good. Alabama down 12, 60-48 with 4:34 to go. Inbounds pass to Collins. Collins over the timeline right. Diana at the top of the key. Collins to the right wing, Timmons. Timmons. Bounce pass, finds Cody. Right side layup, good. Cody turning on her scoring to make it Alabama once again down by 10, 60-50 with 4:15 to go. Harmon over the timeline, gives to Booker in between the rings. Carly Weathers was trying to be aggressive for the steal. Carly on tight defense as a bounce pass from Oldacre back to Booker in the left corner to Harmon. Harmon at the top of the key. 10 on the shot clock and a foul called. Cody and Oldacre collide. Both end up on the floor. And the foul on Essence Cody. Christy Curry trying to ask what for. For Cody, that is her 4th foul. And contact from both, and really Oldacre just leaned into her, and the bodies went tumbling down to the floor. So a couple of tough calls, and again, Texas was called for 5 fouls very quickly to begin this fourth quarter, putting Alabama in the bonus. The fouls have not quite evened up, but kind of had the feeling that on some 50-50 calls, Alabama would not get the same kind of whistle we had seen to start the quarter, and that has proven to be the case. 3:59 to go here in the fourth. Cody to the bench with that last foul, getting some treatment by Alicia Grisby, athletic trainer. Inbounds pass into Oldacre, and then a foul called on Alabama going up for a shot. Carly Weathers was right there for the Crimson Tide, hands on her head in disbelief. It'll be on Tamia Scott, the foul called. First foul on Tamia, 4th team foul. I believe it will be a shooting foul. Let's see, officials are talking about that very thing. And yes, 2 shots are coming up for Texas, and Kyla Oldacre at the free throw line. So Oldacre indeed to the line. 3:58 to go. Texas still being outscored by Alabama, 13-11 in the fourth quarter. Christy Curry talking with Tiffany Bird, one of the 3 officials at the scorers table. And it will be Oldacre at the line. 66% free throw shooter. Her first one's good. 61-50. Texas by 11. 3:58 to play. Second free throw good. 62-50. Crimson Tide with Joy Egbuna back in the game, with Cody playing with 4 fouls, and also Naomi Jones injured, unavailable for this game. Tamia Scott dancing around the right wing with the basketball, dribbles to the top of the key. On the left wing, passes to Timmons. Timmons through some pressure, loads up a high arching 3, and that's good. Had to have it, Jess Timmons. That makes it Texas 62, Alabama 53. Full court pressure following the make. Carlton inbounds the basketball to Booker. Now guarded closely by Carly Weathers. Booker just over the timeline, dealing with the pressure of Weathers the entire time. 3:20 to go. Texas 62, Alabama 53. Booker around the screen by Oldacre. Swings it back on the right wing Lee. Bounce pass to Oldacre. Double teamed on the right block by Scott and Egbuna. Throws up a shot. It's up and good. 64-53. Alabama had the defense it wanted, but Oldacre makes the shot. Alabama ball down by 11. Collins calms things down in between the rings. Just under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Collins pounding the right-handed dribble at the top of the key. Steps inside the arc. Left side of the lane. Collins in the paint. To the right side lane. Swims up a shot that curls in. 64-55. Diana Collins scoring. Every point critical now for Alabama, just as every stop critical from this point on. 2:38 to go. Harmon just over the timeline. Harmon, right front court, guarded closely by Collins. Bounce pass in between the rings to Carlton. Carlton on the left wing to Harmon. Harmon, 10 on the shot clock. Guarded by Scott. Harmon at the top of the key. Harmon driving in from the right side. Spins around, turnaround jumper is good. Harmon's had a tough time shooting at 2 for 12 prior to that shot, but she makes this one to make it 66-55. 2:12 to play. Inbounds pass to Timmons, and immediately fouled by Booker, trying to move the basketball across mid-floor. Alabama in the bonus. So free throws coming up. Wyatta Jennings replaces Diana Collins. Alabama with Essence Cody back on the floor as well. So for the Crimson Tide, Alabama will have all 4 of its seniors on the floor, along with junior Essence Cody. First free throw by Timmons is good. 66-56. Timmons ready for one more. Timmons 2 for 2 at the line. Jessica has not missed in this game at the charity stripe. 66-57. Timmons a perfect 8 of 8 at the line. Points Alabama's had to have. She now has 20 points for the game. Alabama with 57 as a team. 2 minutes to go in Tuscaloosa. Texas with the basketball up 66-57. Pass to Oldacre in the post, spinning around, throwing up a shot, no good off the back iron. Carlton going for the rebound, and the ball gets tipped out of play and will go to the Crimson Tide. And also Carlton had contact over the back of Jessica Timmons. She is called for the foul. That is her 4th. Minute 52 to play. So she joins Cunningham with players with 4 fouls in this game for Texas. Alabama with 2. Essence Cody, Jessica Timmons on the floor. Timmons will go back to the line where she has not missed today. 66-57. Here's Jessica Timmons. First one on the way. Give it to her. 66-58. A minute 52 to go. Once again at the line, Jessica Timmons. Puts it up and in. 66-59. Alabama to within 7. Minute 52 to play. Inbounds pass comes into Booker. Alabama one more foul to give to put Texas in the double bonus at 5 fouls. Here is Harmon against Jennings, trying to jar the basketball loose. Harmon, top of the key, now on the left side to Lee. Left block, Oldacre goes up for the shot, puts it up and in and one. Foul committed by Alabama on the shot. Tamia Scott Second foul on her, so now Texas in the bonus. The remaining 1 minute, 34 seconds. Oldacre to the free throw line, scoring. She's now got 10 points off the bench, and now she heads back to the line where she's been 4 of 5 in this game. 68-59. Now 69-59. Alabama down 10 with a minute and a half to play. Timmons pushing tempo to the right block. Throws up a right side layup. Good. 69-61. Alabama down 8. A minute 25 to go. Texas with the basketball. Harmon guarded in the backcourt. Now over the timeline right. Guarded very closely by Jennings. Jennings against Harmon still. Rory, top of the key. A bounce pass to Carlton. Right elbow. Carlton to the right block, pushing off Scott, and a whistle blown. Jump ball. Possession arrow favors Alabama. Crimson Tide get a critical stop. Now it's time for some points. Trailing 69-61 with 1 minute, 8 seconds to go. Carly Weathers will inbound the basketball. Full court pressure from the Longhorns. Inbounds pass to Jennings. Jennings with pressure subsiding. Quickly over the timeline to Timmons before that's punched out of bounds on the right sideline by Rory Harmon. Well, the Crimson Tide will get set for an inbounds pass, but Christy Curry wants to draw one up for the Crimson Tide as she calls a timeout to talk things over for the Crimson Tide. With that timeout, Alabama will only have 1 timeout remaining. Texas still with 3 timeouts to go. Both teams in the bonus, so any foul equals 2 shots coming up at the free throw line. Foul trouble in this game. Essence Cody, Jessica Timmons, both with 4 fouls. Both have been playing, but no one else with more than 3 fouls for Alabama. Justice Carlton stayed in the game with 4 fouls for Texas. Also, Brea Cunningham has stayed mostly on the bench for Texas with 4 fouls. 1:03 to go. Texas 69, Alabama 61. Crimson Tide will inbound the basketball from the right sideline. Essence Cody joined by the seniors, Tamia Scott, Carly Weathers, Wyatta Jennings, and Jessica Timmons. It'll be Jennings inbounding the basketball from the right sideline. 1 minute, 3 seconds to go. Jennings will be guarded by Lee on the inbounds pass. Floats it in, top of the key to Timmons. Back underway, final minute of action in the 4th quarter. Jennings, bounce pass to Carly Weathers. Weathers piercing the paint, bounce pass to Cody. Right side layup, good. 69-63. 6-point game with 52 seconds to play. Texas with the basketball. Texas over the timeline with Booker. Booker calming the tempo down upon the instruction from Vic Schaefer. Booker dribbling in between the rings. Shot clock down to 10, and a reach-in foul by Carly Weathers with 11 on the shot clock after it was nearly down to 10. Carly called for her foul. That'll be number 2 personally. 36.1 seconds to play. Texas 69, Alabama 63. So much of this game will come down to the free throw line where the Longhorns have been 11 for 14 in this game. Alabama 17 of 22. So both in the 70s in terms of percentages at the free throw line. Booker at the line, 1 of 1 at the charity stripe today. 85% for the year, and her first one is good. 7-point Texas lead, 70-63 with 36.1 seconds left to go. Second free throw, good. 71-63, Alabama down 8. Crimson Tide with Jennings over the timeline right. On the right wing, Jennings to the right wing to Scott. Top of the key to Timmons. Timmons guarded by Harmon. Timmons wants to shoot a 3, instead drives in, dumps it off Cody. Left side layup too strong. Rebound tapped around, controlled by Texas. 18 seconds to go. Harmon over the timeline, fouled by Timmons, who will foul out with 16.8 seconds left to go. Final time for Jessica Timmons on this floor. 16.8 seconds left. She fouls out, and Crimson Tide fans will give her a good ovation, playing for one final time at Coleman Coliseum. Christy Curry talked about pregame in our pregame interview presented by Ford. Good thing is for the senior class, a lot more basketball to play. In Greenville, South Carolina, the SEC tournament, and Alabama a lock to make the NCAA tournament. First free throw spins out, no good for Harmon. One more coming up for Harmon after missing the first. makes the second, 72-63. Coach Curry will use her last timeout to advance the ball past midfloor here in the final minute of play. 72-63. So a loss would drop Alabama to 7-9 in the SEC. Entering today, Georgia is also at 7-8. Texas A&M has a chance to be 7-9 if they win against Ole Miss. Georgia will be taking on Florida. Also Kentucky at 8-8, but Alabama does not appear will make it to the 8-win mark in SEC play. Loss would drop Alabama to 7-9 in the SEC. So really later today, keep an eye on Georgia against Florida. Alabama does have a tiebreaker against Georgia. And again, the Crimson Tide do not have a tiebreaker against Texas A&M. Drop that game to, at that point, a really struggling Texas A&M team on the road Super Bowl Sunday. Since then, Alabama alum Joni Taylor's team has played extremely well to get themselves even in a position to have a good seed near the upper half of the conference. So those will be the matchups to keep an eye on coming up later this afternoon as we see the final day come to a close of the regular season. Greenville, South Carolina up next. Likely the Crimson Tide to start play on Wednesday, but the seeding, the game time will be determined by what else happens in the SEC as the Crimson Tide will likely be at 7-9. Unless something changes in these last 16 seconds. But Alabama will have the basketball trailing 72-63. Wyatt Jennings will inbound the basketball from the right sideline into Carly Weathers. Quickly back to Jennings, top of the key. 14 seconds left. It's Carly, a bounce pass to an open Cody, right side layup, good. Alabama can do more of that with Essence Cody moving forward. That would really help a lot in the SEC tournament. Inbounds pass comes in to Booker. Booker just over the timeline. Alabama will not foul. 4 seconds left, and the final seconds will tick down as the Crimson Tide fall to the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns, 72-65, our final score here on Senior Day. Before we step aside for our final game break before the region's postgame show, we'll pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Again, the final score today, Texas 72 and Alabama 65. We'll be back with the region's postgame show in a moment. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Final score in Tuscaloosa, it's Texas 72 and Alabama 65. Roger Hoover welcoming you to the Regions postgame show as we start our show with a conversation with the head coach of the Crimson Tide, Christy Curry, presented by Ford. And, Coach, it's senior day as we talked about pregame, a very special senior class, and they made quite an impact in this game for you.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, Carly, 4 years and 4 20-win seasons, 3 NCAA tournaments, and she has left her mark with setting the tone with culture that, will forever have her imprint on this program. She's an amazing human. Jessica 3 years ago came in and said, hey, I really want to get better and I want to be developed, and she's really developed, obviously, and done an unbelievable job of what, today I thought she really stepped up in a big way, saddled with a little foul trouble. And then Tamia and Wyatt for coming in and being such high character and just terrific people, and buying into this role. I just couldn't be more proud of the 4 of them and excited because I keep telling them, hey, there's no reason to be sad because we have a lot of basketball to play. The SEC tournament and NCAA tournament, a year when a lot of people didn't think we'd be there. We're there. So to battle, a top 5 team again today will prepare us for the NCAA tournament. And there's a few things we got to clean up, but we're right where we want to be to compete with folks like this. So proud of our team today. Just disappointed we couldn't come out with the win.
For Wyatt especially, I mean, the great ceremony for Senior Day before, her family coming from New Zealand here, giving her energy, and then she had energy all throughout her minutes on the floor.
Yeah, she really did. She played great today. I want her to bottle this up and be consistent with it. I'm really proud of her today, though. I know it was great to have her dad and her brothers here. They came a long, long way, and the time change and everything. But amazing. Her dad's incredible, and she has an incredible family that she loves a lot, and really proud of her.
So the Crimson Tide fall today to Texas, but as you mentioned, a lot more basketball ahead, starting with the SEC tournament. Just what does this group need to do over the next few days to get ready for what we hope is a very long week in Greenville?
Yeah, I mean, it's a quick turnaround, so we've got to get recovery. We'll take off tomorrow and travel tomorrow, get on up there and get us a solid dinner, and just look forward to the challenge this week. I mean, it's such a – I know a lot of the seeding depends on what happens here after us, and so we have to just we didn't have Essence against Auburn. I think that probably is one we wish we had back, and we wouldn't be so antsy with the seeding today. Obviously Texas A&M, but I'm so proud of this team and who they're trying to be, and we've got a great opportunity in front of us. You get to play again, for a championship. So season 1, preseason, season 2, SEC, season 3 with the conference tournament, and then season 4 in the postseason. So 2 seasons left to give everything that we've got to continue to grow and learn from days like today.
We're excited for the ride ahead starting this week in Greenville. Coach, thank you for your time, especially here in Tuscaloosa all season long. Roll Tide.
Amazing crowd. 11 o'clock tip, which is awful time for tip with church and everything. But I just thought that our crowd really came out and celebrated our seniors today, and we really appreciate them. Appreciate them all year long. I think we've had record numbers at times, and really means a lot to our program and really means a lot to recruiting. And more importantly, these kids put a lot of sweat equity in every day. And so for everyone to come out and support us, we just really appreciate them.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Roll Tide. Bang, that's the best coach in the business right there, Christy Curry. We appreciate her time with us here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Always presented by Ford. Great things are possible when you have the power, the performance, and the smart features of a Ford F-150. A proud sponsor of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Greatness starts here at your local Ford dealer. We'll be back with a final segment of the Regions postgame show. Do want to remind you to get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Final score, it's Texas winning 72-65 against Alabama. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. One of the final baskets for Carly Weathers in this building, along with 3 other seniors, Jessica Timmons, Tamia Scott, and Wyata Jennings. We talked about their contributions with Coach Curry all a moment ago. All great players here at the University of Alabama. And tough to see the regular season come to a close like it does today. Again, the Crimson Tide falling to Texas 72-65 final score to wrap up the regular season. With the loss, Alabama drops to 21-9, finishes conference play at 7-9. But the Crimson Tide did a great job at 20 home games, going 16-4. Tremendous play at home under the arched roof of Coleman Coliseum all throughout this season. With the win, Texas 28-3. Longhorns will head to the SEC tournament, going 13-3 in the SEC. Likely the number 3 seed, since Vanderbilt, also with the same record, has the headbreaker head-to-head against them with a win earlier this season. But the final score, again, Texas 72, Alabama 65. One place to go for all the information on the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. Crimson Tide Sports Network on social media platforms at UA_CTSN. We will definitely share the bracket coming up later on this evening, and broadcast details when we know them about Alabama's play, likely starting on Wednesday at some point in the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament in Greenville, South Carolina. It's going to do it for the Regions postgame show. Get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card today. Appreciate the Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Jim Carabin, being here at Courtside, not just for this game, but many games all throughout the season, as well as Ethan Carabin producing our basketball booth cam, presented by NASCAR and all of our social media platforms today. And our game was produced back at our Learfield studios by Jerry Kelly and Ryan Williams. For everyone with the University of Alabama women's basketball program and the Crimson Tide Sports Network, this is Roger Hoover saying thank you for listening to Alabama basketball. Again, the final score, Texas 72 and Alabama 65. Until we talk to you next from Greenville, South Carolina for the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament, have a great start to the